Welcome to Slap Grapple. Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Crestastarr, and welcome to my brand new podcast, vlog, whatever these things are called nowadays. Slap Grapple POP. I hope I did it loud enough. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to have you. We're going to be talking about wrestling, pop culture, all these fun stuff that's important to me. And it's just for fun, so don't take it too seriously. And I'm glad that you guys are here. Let me tell you a little bit about myself before we jump into our very first episode. I used to watch wrestling back in the day. Me and my two brothers, we used to watch Friday Night SmackDown, WWE Monday Night Raw, and WCW. I fell off like most people do at the end of the Attitude Era. I think John Cena had just came out and said ruthless aggression, and I had stopped watching for a long time. I got back into it during Money in the Bank 2018 and was just drawn in, enthralled by Becky Lynch and Nia Jax. And the storyline of Becky Lynch becoming the man really sold me. Fast forward to, I now work at Fightful, covering TNA at first. Myself and Joe Pearl every Thursday go over all things TNA Impact, and then eventually going to cover AEW Collision over on Fightful as well. Overjoyed, got to interview Gringo Loco. I go to house shows here in New York City, Invictus, House of Glory. I have a great time, and I post a lot. I have over 87,000 followers on Wrestle Talk. Shout outs to Wrestle Talk over on TikTok. So if you want to go give any of those a shout outs, again, Cresta Star everywhere except for Twitter, where it's Cresta the Star. Yeah, so that's, I guess, my credentials. So are you guys ready to laugh? Let's talk about wrestling. Let's recap the week. Let's do it. So this is going to be recapping from the 1st of February to the 8th of February. That's to Saturday, yes. So we're talking about from the Royal Rumble. We're going to talk about Royal Rumble, Monday Night Raw, Wednesday Night Dynamite, Thursday Night Impact, Friday Night SmackDown, some of it because I turned it off because the girl was tired. And we're going to talk about Collision. So let's start with the Royal Rumble. Had a lot of surprises. And yes, I'm going to be reading because your girl, baby, you can't read and neither can I. We had Jordynne Grace, Julia, Jada Parker, Lash Legend, Stephanie Vicaire, Alexa Bliss, Joe Hendry, and IShowSpeed all popping out for the Rumble. Now, starting off with Jordynne Grace, y'all know how I feel about her. Loved seeing her there. Upset she didn't win, but I already knew that's what it was. The winner of the Women's Royal Rumble, almost said Royal Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble was Charlotte Flair. Now, people were like, that's a controversial decision. While I don't agree with it, she looks good. She looked great. Her gear was together, and that leads me to my other favorite, Zelina Vega's gear. It was so beautiful. It was so fantastic. The gear tonight from the ladies, well, that night, showed out. Now, I also want to give a special shout out to IShowSpeed. Showing up and taking a spear from Braun Breaker. You're a man, Maury, because the way, the speed at which that man hit you and the way you took it like a champion, fantastic. Not even mad about it. Joe Hendry stand over here. I was believing. I was so happy when his music hit. That whole crowd lit up because they said his name and he appeared, and I believed in Joe Hendry. It was really the best Royal Rumbles I've seen. I was sports entertained. I will say that the men's Royal Rumble was really top heavy. The winner of the men's Royal Rumble ended up being, let me see if my memory reminds me. It was Jey Uso. Like, I like it. I know a lot of people complained about it. I think having Jey Uso in a position where you actually can put him in the main event, I'm not mad at it. I feel like as fans, sometimes we complain about certain companies, and in this case, WWE, not elevating new stars, and now we have a chance to. I am not upset about it. It puts main event Jey Uso in the main event. So, that was really fun. There was also the Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Cody retained. And there's also the Street Profits. Not the Street Profits, I'm sorry. DIY retains from a DQ from a returning Street Profits because... And then the Street Profits just beat up everybody. The Royal Rumble was fine. Not complaining about it. I know a lot of people were upset about Charlotte Flair winning. But at the same time, are we surprised? And she looks good. Hate her or love her, she looks good. Be mad about it. Call your mom about it. You know what I mean? Which then brings us to Monday Night Raw, which was on February 3rd. So I'm going to talk about the fashion first because I lived for Seth Rollins' all black outfit. That coat, that turtleneck, everything was together. But I know a lot of people online didn't like it, but I don't care. This sold me on Charlotte Flair. I loved Charlotte's yellow outfit. The jacket and the skirt was very K-pop. I lived. She tried to cut a promo to give you guys something heartfelt, and people booed this woman out the building. And I'm like, yo, bro, give her like 2 seconds. It was, at first it was funny, and then it was like, hey, yo, like, now you guys are being haters for free. And in that moment, me, crestastarr, has become a Charlotte Flair fan because she tried to be nice to you. She tried to be nice to you, and y'all just booed her. I can understand being mad at the book, but let her get her jokes off. Let her get her 2 seconds off. So, yeah, it happened. It happened. It happened. We also had Jey Uso coming out that night, cutting a heartfelt promo how he feels like he wants to carry on the legacy of his family. And you know, sometimes it feels like it's hard, like he could never make it there. The boy is trying not to cry. In the midst of this promo, here comes Gunther being rude to him, saying, you're not on my level. You've never been on my level. I don't even know why we doing this again. Don't pick me so I can embarrass you again. Whoa! Gunther, you're so rude, but I live. Gunther is a wrestler for all seasons. Also coming out of this, they showed a recap of John Cena declaring for the Elimination Chamber. He said after 23 years, I believe, of loyal, faithful service, I believe I have that right. And I'm like, go ahead, do your big one. People qualify or don't qualify for less. Oh, CM Punk also beat Sammy to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. I don't have a lot of notes for this show. This Raw, it happened. And that's how I felt. On February 5th, we had AEW Dynamite, and this was a good show. Starting off with the fashion again, the Hurt Business. We hurt people. You also hurting them in the fashion game. I loved all of these suits, and I will honestly say MVP's fashion drip, even when he was in the Hurt Business before, the Hurt Syndicate now, like they always dress sharp, sharper than a pencil. To quote Outkast, cooler than Freddie Jackson sipping a milkshake in a snowstorm. Say that 5 times fast. I'm not a rapper. I'm just a jabroni. Mark Davis joined the Don Callis family, and my heart broke. Why? I don't know what they have on you, Mark Davis, but break yourself free from the chains that bind you. I did see someone say it could be worse. He could be locked up in the Chris Jericho learning tree. So you take the wins where they got him. I also like Don Callis. He's one of my favorite managers. A yapper's yapper. Fantastic. Can we talk about Ricochet for a moment? This man is a villain. I'm not mad at it. All the time that people would say that Ricochet sometimes is boring or Ricochet is this, that, and the third. He's so interesting right now. He's so funny. It's like corny to the max, but I love it. I live. I think it's literally the epitome of, bro, what's the worst that can happen? This guy goes on to be a super villain. I live for it. And he stole Prince Nana Jack. I also want to talk about Toni Storm as Mariah May was fantastic. How she looked like her. Because remember, Mariah May used to look like Toni Storm, so it only makes sense that it makes sense the other way around. This match was so fun. Mariah May was bothered on commentary. She was bothered the whole time. And this is fantastic. This is someone, like, I thought timeless Toni Storm before was good. Toni Storm now, this is a whole nother level. Like, she's living the gimmick, brother, and I'm living with her. I was very sports entertained. I want to also quickly mention Okada's music hit during the Buddy Matthews match, but no Okada showed up. I believe that was him versus Kyle Fletcher or Konosuke, and Don Callis did something with that, and they kind of alluded to it. My memory's bad, you know. There was a couple of days ago. My memory's awful. And also Kenny Omega, he had a really good opening promo with his original "I hear my little cry" music. I encourage you to go back and watch AEW Dynamite this week. That was on the 5th of February. I had a good time watching it. I was sports entertained. I would recommend this episode. Which brings us to TNA. What is crestastarr doing in the Impact Zone? That was on February 6th. I will say, if you want more of a nuanced, in-depth, free plug for Fightful, go ahead and watch my post-show review with Joe Pearl. That's over an hour long, and we yap about it. So I'm giving you the highlights and the bumps and the stuff that I didn't get to talk about over there. So we have the 10-woman scramble to see who's going to be the number one contender for Masha's match. Cora Jade is on commentary. She said, I'm not getting in this match because I'm too good for that. Now, I was one of those people who believe that Cora Jade can't stand next to Masha Savage because I don't know her. I don't know her. I don't watch NXT. Not because I don't want to, but because I can't watch wrestling 7 days a week. I have a life, okay? No, I don't. But I don't want to watch wrestling 7 days a week. Cora Jade does hardcore stuff. I wish I never saw it. Oh my God. I can't do blood. I'm so soft. I feel the same way about Masha. So she's a good wrestler. So she could go toe to toe with her. The 10-woman scramble was fantastic. Xia Brookside's gear looked fantastic. Jazz made an in-ring return. Beautiful seeing her. Ultimately, Savannah Evans does win this. So I'm excited and looking forward to that. It's about time we move another big, meaty woman up. It's that big, meaty slot that's missing since Jordynne Grace has now departed the company. Tyson DuPont versus Ace Austin was really good because I've never seen that man wrestle before. Again, another gentleman from NXT. Meaty. It was a good match. Ace Austin won clean, which I was surprised about because Wesley and Tyreek were on the outside. So I thought they were going to interfere in the match. But Ace Austin wins clean, and then they jump him afterwards. The Rascals make the save, but, So the Rascals will be in a match versus the Wesley crew, and I believe that'll probably be on NXT. I don't know when. We're probably angling for it. I think the one last thing I have to point out on the TNA show is that the Nemeth brothers, Ryan and Nick Nemeth went against Fraxium, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom from NXT. This was also a very heavily NXT featured show because they do have that partnership with TNA, WWE, and NXT does. I'm sorry, WWE and TNA does. NXT belongs to WWE. So the Nemeth brothers and Fraxium are doing it big, and then for some reason Ryan Nemeth wants to cheat. He pulls out a chair. Nick Nemeth goes to stop him, and then, the Fraxium does their thing, and they get the pin on him. Nick Nemeth at the end, you can see him holding his head in his hands and looking up like, damn, what do I do? That's my little brother. As someone who has a little brother, sometimes you gotta choke your little brother, and I think that's coming next. I'm kind of excited for a Nemeth brother versus Nemeth brother, just because I think it would really help elevate Ryan Nemeth, because I would hate for Nick Nemeth to eventually leave TNA and Ryan Nemeth either A, doesn't go with him, or B, does and still doesn't have an identity besides that's my big brother. So I'm excited to see where this goes. And TNA was pretty good. There's a lot of seeds sown for upcoming TNA shows, especially the live one coming up. So check out TNA. The product is still pretty good. I said what I said. This SmackDown review, this was on the 7th. I'm gonna be real with you. It's gonna be brief. I had to turn it off. I was not sports entertained. I was sports sleep. I was sports eepy. Charlotte Flair's outfit, I gotta give the girl credit, because she came out this week and she was like, guns up. Okay, how we doing it? You gonna be nice, or do I gotta be mean girl? I will give Tiffany Stratton her flowers. She came out, like, girl, I'm not doing this. I don't want to be compared to you, so let's get it popping. The disrespect from Charlotte Flair going, I'm sorry, what are you speaking to me? I'm a fan now. I used to be one of the people who be like, damn, Charlotte Flair get everything. But now look at me, I'm a fan. I don't care, I'm a fan. This promo, this back and forth was good. I felt Tiffany Stratton held her own. And Nia Jax came out with, Candice LeRae, almost called her Pixie Polite. That's a drag queen, girl. With Candice LeRae, who I'm like, Nia Jax got a new lackey every week. The power this woman has. The power Nia Jax has. Rounding out this week, we have AEW Collision that went on February 8th, this Saturday that just passed, last night, if you will. It starts off with a rundown of the show, and normally we have people who do the whole card, but tonight it was last night was just Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher is firmly in his unhinged, leave Britney alone era, no Hera era. Those sunglasses with the raindrops, so cute. I love them. I need a pair. Send me the Amazon link. Send me the Dolce & Gabbana link, wherever they are. If we want to jump right to that main event, that main event was beautiful violence. Now, I personally do not like blood. I think it's gross, and sometimes it's too much, but I respect what it does for a match. I want to say maybe 10 minutes in, Mark Briscoe starts bleeding, and this man is squirting blood, but still manages to get a froggy bow, still manages to get an elbow to the outside through a table on Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher eventually picks up the win with a brain buster to the top turnbuckle on Mark Briscoe. It was so gross. And then he gets on the mic and says, "This man beat me was a fluke. I told you he's a bum." No, he didn't say that last part. I ad-libbed it. I made that up. But it was essentially the gist of the promos. Like, I told you. And I'm the best, and I'm not losing. I believe he's going to win in Australia. That's just me. That is just me. Also on tonight, the Death Riders came out. I want to say shouts to Claudio Castagnoli, the Swiss cyborg. Cut a promo in Swiss? Is it Swedish? I'm not sure. I'm not a geography expert. I'm a dumb American. So somebody in the comments tell me, what do Switzerland? Do they speak Swedish? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Write in the comments. Let me know. We had a good spot with Toni Storm. So Mariah May has her match. She squashes this poor girl. I went to the bathroom. I didn't even write her name down, so please forgive me. Shout outs to that young girl in the comments. She gets beat up. Toni Storm then afterwards starts dressing her. I mean, Mariah May starts dressing her like Toni Storm. It's really odd. And then Luther, then he comes out and presents her with the bloody shoe. Mariah May is lost. She's gooped. She turns around to go beat up the girl with the bloody shoe, and it's boop, Toni Storm. It was such a beautiful moment. I'm happy. I see Toni Storm getting that title back in Australia as well. We also had on commentary Tony Schiavone called Lance Archer Lance Storm, and that's the second time I've heard Lance Storm this week, and that makes me very happy inside of my heart. Yeah, I think that's everything of note really on the AEW show. So that leads us to our last segment. Overall, I thought wrestling this week was really good. I turned off SmackDown. I blame that on fatigue more than anything. So don't take my 2 cents about it. And speaking of which, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to try to tweak the format. If you guys like it, if you guys hate it, definitely let me know. Please put constructive criticism in the comments. Okay? Don't make me cry, because I will. I just a girl who likes to talk about wrestling. I'm literally just a girl. So, if you guys would like to follow me on forms of social media, down over here, you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, BlueSky, YouTube, and Twitch, all at crestastarr, crestastarr. Everywhere except X, Twitter, because that's Cresta the Star, like Megan the Stallion, but I don't really use that. I rarely engage on that. So, thanks. You could have been anywhere on the internet, even the hub, but instead you were here with me, and that does mean a whole lot. So thank you so much for watching. Heart, stars, and horseshoes, and may all your hits be crits. See you in the next one. Bye!